It was really important for OLA to think about reimagining its governance because it's an organization that really impacts so many different people in different workplaces, in different sectors, and this is an organization that does so much with so many volunteers. And yet, I think because of that, year over year continual work, you don't really have the time to think about your governance best practices, or is the way that we've been doing things the right way to be doing things in 2022. And so I thought it was really fantastic that OLA took that step to really commit to saying, are we doing this the best way? Are we doing this the right way? Is there a different way that we should be approaching governance?
I think it was driven by the structure. It was actually being questioned, the structure of our governance. So this process was so exciting for us because it took us beyond just looking at structure. But we have a board currently of 18 members. And our board is comprised of the presidents and vice presidents of all of our divisional councils, which represent different types of library sectors. And it's worked for us for many years, but we recently had a new division join us, and that increased the number of the board. And the board recognized that this is starting to get a bit unwieldy. So what do we do about this? So instead of just focusing on, how many people are on a board, is this effective? This was a great opportunity to step back and say, okay, let's look at what is governance for the Ontario Library Association? What is it that we're trying to accomplish? And go from there. But it really was the size of the board structure, how representation on the board, some of the workload involved with representation on the board, because when you are a divisional president and vice president, you are on the board, which doubles your obligation to the association. And I think what we've done a very good job of is working with our divisional presidents and vice presidents, who are board members, to say these are separate entities. So when you're on the board, you are involved with governance and stewardship of the overall association, and you can bring your perspective from your division, but you are at the table for the health of OLA.
One of the things that's really interesting about the Ontario Library Association is that there are a lot of the members and a lot of the board, like people on the board of directors, come from the public library sector. Certainly not exclusively. We have, really active school library sector and really active academic library sector. But we do also tend to have a lot of public library expertise on the board. And because of the nature of public libraries and the way that those libraries run with boards appointed by municipal council, their entire operation is governed under the Municipal Act and the Public Libraries Act. And so there are layers upon layers of complexity in the public library world. I think that a lot of the time we just apply those same kinds of principles to our approach to governance at OLA, right? I think that there are lots of parallels between a library board of directors and OLA's board of directors. But to be fair, OLA is not a public library system. OLA is a not-for-profit, is a charity, is a professional association. And so although certainly a lot of folks have that expertise with a public library board background, OLA is something different. And so I think it's a good opportunity for us to look at that governance structure and say, is what we're doing right now what we really should be doing from a not-for-profit professional charity?